Hello, people. I hope you're doing absolutely well. You have utilized your 1.5 day before the exam and you're all set to appear for a CA Foundation paper number 3, that is Business Maths, Logical Reasoning and Statistics. Right? I'm recording this video in both the languages, Hindi as well as English, for all the students so that you understand properly what do I want to say. I'll keep it specifically restricted to English because it will be basic English so that even the students who do not understand proper English, they'll be able to understand this, right? So please try to pay attention. This video is going to be very important, and I am giving it to you at the very last moment so that you get a proper idea of what is supposed to be done in the exam, right? I have presented something over here in front of you. Please try to understand what am I trying to do. Just focus and try to understand, right? As good as a very important concept which will give you 100 out of 100 marks, right? So please try to understand. Let us assume there can be 3 different types of papers in the examination, which I have usually seen since my what you can say, since when I was a student, then being into teaching profession since a lot of years now, talking to the people and going through the papers being asked since the very inception of CA Foundation or CA CPT, which used to happen earlier. What I have assumed over here is there can be a paper which can be of 3 different types, or 3 different situations can be there in which institute makes the paper. Before going there, you have 100 questions. Let us try to do ABC analysis of those 100 questions, right? Please try to understand what am I trying to say. The moment you receive the paper, you have 2 hours for the paper, that is 120 minutes, and you have 100 questions. So we usually take 1.2 minutes per question is what we usually assume. Firstly, you need to assume that there is only 60 seconds per question is what you need to assume, because the moment you receive the question paper, you need to at least go through the whole question paper once, which will take 5 to 7 minutes just to quickly go through, have a glance through and divide the questions into 3 categories: category A, category B and category C. Category A is going to be that category which will be very easy difficulty level. So as such, the questions are not difficult. You are able to solve it. So questions may be difficult, but you have seen those questions a day before, maybe in whatsoever material, so it is very easy for you. So I am talking about your difficulty level, right? So say the questions are easy and you will not take more than 60 seconds to solve it, like very much less than 60 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Theory questions which usually require 10 to 12 seconds only. So all those questions are going in your category number A. Category number B will be those questions which require approximately 60 seconds somewhere, but they are not that easy, not that difficult. They are of the mediocre level. So those are questions falling under category number B. Category number C is those questions which are ideally difficult and which will require more than 60 seconds to solve, even if you are using a shortcut or whatsoever method you are trying to opt for. In a average question paper, in a general question paper, which usually appears in the CA Foundation examination, you get 60 questions ideally from category number A, more or less, usually more, not less than 60. I have assumed a very pessimistic situation, what would happen, so that you are prepared for it, right? Category B usually consists of 25 questions and category C usually consists of 15 questions, and that is how you get total 100. Believe me, these A and B are the questions which you need to first identify, and secondly, you need to attempt them properly. This will be the game changer. These 15 questions, if you remember, while teaching you, if you have been my student, while teaching the concepts to you, while teaching the questions to you, while discussing the questions with you, I have discussed it then and there that these are the questions which are not supposed to solve in the exam. It takes a lot of time. So we have seen the concept because it will be required in some further stages of CA intermediate and CA final. But those are the questions which you should not actually attempt in the examination because they are going to take a lot of time and you may mess up around. Right? So these are those questions. Even if you take care of these questions properly, you will be able to attempt these carefully, right? I think so. I have taken a lot of time. Let me move on to those 3 cases which usually happen. So let us assume I usually say that this is what happens because that is what I have gone through the papers and found out. If this happens, which usually happens, that is case 1, which we have considered for our purpose right now, 60, 25, 15. Second case, which is not so usual, but if case 1 does not happen, case 2 happens usually. That is 40, 40 and 20. Still you have questions on your side than against your side, right? And case 3, which is very rare, but it can come in the exam and we should be prepared for it, right? So that is 40, 30 and 30, which is still not a disastrous situation. Sir, what if I get easy questions in terms of less than 40? It will never happen. It will never happen. Believe me, it has never happened. It will never happen, right? So it is not like institute is intentionally trying to fail you. This won't happen. Don't worry about it, right? Now, suppose if case 1 happens, I'm just showing you an idea so that you get a brief idea as to what you're supposed to do at the time of the exam and how you're supposed to do this calculation. And this is very much important in order to score and attempt the questions properly. Now, so 60 questions of category A, which you are sure you'll be able to attempt, you get 60 marks. Out of 25 questions, you attempt all 25. Suppose 10 are wrong, 15 are correct. 10 are wrong, 10 are incorrect, 15 are correct. For 15, you get 15 marks. For those 10, you get a negative 2.5, considering 1/4 a negative. From this 15, say you carefully do not attend 10 questions because you may not have time for it, or you are sure that you won't be able to solve it. You are very much sure, or maybe 1 or 2 chapters here and there, concepts here and there, you have left an option. Not a problem. Say balance 5 you still solve, and those are also wrong. So basically, I'm considering you will not get even one question correct from this. So even if you take 5 wrong, you get 1.25. 10, you're not solving it. Still, you are at a very much safer position of 71.25 marks. Believe me. So you land up somewhere around 70 marks, right? Sir, do you mean to say I cannot score more than 71? I mean to say you can score 90, 95, 98. Out of these students, I have seen maximum marks these students have scored. Even if I talk about my students with whom I have interacted, I have taught them, they have scored 90, 95, 98, 99 marks. 98 marks, I remember, was someone who scored in the last attempt. So this is not about scoring the marks, that is already done. This is just about managing the risks and considering the situation that may appear in the examination. That is the only reason I am explaining this. See case 2, if case 1 does not happen, not so usual happens. See case 2, so 40 questions you appear, 40 marks you get. Out of this 40, 20 correct, 20 incorrect. 20 you get 20, another 20 you get 5 negative. Out of these 20, 10 you don't attend, 10 you attend, but they get incorrect. I'm not assuming even one question out of this to be correct. Still you land up somewhere around 50 to 55 marks, which is still very good considering the difficulty level of the paper. Third one, which is a rare situation that can appear, still you are managing to be able to get 50 marks at least. So 40 you get correct, 30 may say 50, 15 you are getting correct, and 5 say you have not attempted, 5 you are getting wrong. Out of these 30, say 25 you're not attempting, and 10 you're attempting, which say is somewhere around negative 0.25 that you get. So you end up with minus 2.5. Still you end up with somewhere around 50 marks. So this analysis you need to do at the start of the paper. Accordingly, you need to decide how many questions you are supposed to attend. As and how you go ahead with the paper, you will be able to understand what exactly you're required to do. So I guess this would be very much helpful for you. I've tried to keep the video very short so that you can go through this even while traveling to your examination center. Lots of love, lots of blessings, lots of strength from my side. I am very much sure, very much confident with the attitude you are going into the examination, you will do superb and the paper is going to be coming superb. I'll be waiting for your feedback. You can send it to me on my WhatsApp number as to whatever your paper was, however your paper was, what was your experience, etc. And let us try to chat a bit after the paper. Bye bye, take care, lots of love, God bless you, and lots of strength to you. All the best.